There is not a day that goes by where someone doesn't make some sort of comment to me about the time that I spent at Flatbacks.
Yeah?
And especially about chop number 17 of the 20 that I got, which was the first one that you gave me.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, I was like a gunshot.
Yeah. Well, so that's, funny enough, I'm not a chopper. I'm not a chop guy.
I know, and that's what you said. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm not really a chopper. And I'm like, I beg to differ.
Flatbacks is the only place where you'll really see me throw a chop. I just don't throw chops.
It was a hell of a chop.
Yeah. I don't like that it could be good or it could be bad. And most of the time, it's going to be bad if I throw it. So I just don't do them. But I got them in me, apparently.
You definitely have them in you. I didn't think that video would turn out to be what it's turned out to be.
So what does that tell you? Does it tell you that everybody wants to see you get beat up? Or do people just love chops? Or do they love me? Or do they love flatbacks? Or do they love spears? Like, what is it that made all of a sudden that get 1 million views? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a great thumbnail,
Sure.
right? It's a great thumbnail of like my chest, like red and welted and purple.
That picture's up at the school.
No,
You stand in the middle, me and Spears sitting there going, yeah, there it is.
Spears told me that I made the wall, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I made the wall? There's
Well,
like,
you got a good chopping chest, and you marked up real easily. Some guys, like, you can chop them and they won't mark up. You marked up on like the first one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad watching that video back because I wasn't in like my best shape. And now that video has been seen by like, it's something like 20 or 30
Sure.
million people if you include TikTok and YouTube Shorts. And I'm like, I just wish that I had leaned out a little bit. I'm in much better shape now.
I saw you posted it, yeah.
But that video has been seen by everybody. And what's also interesting is that full video is something like 15 or 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about the fact that I was taking bumps at the start of that video. I'm locking up. I'm running the ropes because I trained, when I was 20.
Yeah.
Not a single comment about my actual wrestling ability.
No.
All the comments are about the chops that I took.
Yeah. Well, I love it too, because again, like that's a flatbacks, ritual. We're there and we do chop day, and again, it's so funny. Like it's not a bad thing. Like people get into it, people love it, which again you can see on the video. So it's not like you were the only one just getting chopped to oblivion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the day. Everybody else was too, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's weird wrestling camaraderie, man. I remember it's the weird. You can't really explain it to people if they don't know. I remember we did one time. We had a drill in FCW where you'd wrestle for basically an hour straight, but you would kind of like rotate and you'd work an arm or work a leg or do whatever. But you're basically tired. You're tired because you're going and you're yelling and you're doing everything. And I remember one day we did the drill, and it was me and Connor from the Ascension, and we're standing in the corner and we're probably about like the 45-minute mark. And we're both tired and we're both beat up, and it's just like, for whatever reason, we're good friends, and I chopped him or he chopped me, and then all of a sudden we're just wailing on each other, and we're tired, and it's 45 minutes, and we're going, ah, and it just like fires you up, and then they're like, all right, rotate to the next partner, and we're going, why did we do that? But you can't help it, like, we're not going, why did you do that to me? It was like, that's what we do, I guess.
Do you know if you've got any new students from that video?
I know people have mentioned it. I don't know if it's the sole reason that they showed up.
But maybe they go, I didn't know there was a school in Central Florida, and I live in Central Florida, and now I've got 2 guys that have this great school. Maybe that's that's originally what I wanted.
Well, and I know that we've actually had people from because we get people internationally. We've had people
course.
from overseas who have mentioned it. So not just like, oh, I'm in the area and I'm a local. Like we've had people come from Israel, Italy, France, Germany, like all over the place, Australia.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
What's day one look like? If I've signed up, I'm going to go to Flatbacks. What's day one?
day one at the school is, you get to meet us, obviously. We double check with everybody, make sure that you know what you're signing up for, like you're healthy enough to be here, everybody's good to go. And then we get into it, and we just kind of go, here's an introduction on, what this takes. And for the most part, we're getting into like cardio stuff. So we're not in the ring. We're not doing, bumps and moves and stuff like that. We're kind of just showing you like, hey, we know what wrestling is, and you have an idea of what it is from watching it, but you need to be in shape. Like I need to be able to rely on you, because once we get into all the stuff that you want to do, if you're tired, you're going to hurt me. And I need to know that even when you're dead tired, you're going to protect me. And that's usually what we get to, where, okay, like if you haven't prepared, if you haven't hit the gym, if you're not in shape, if you're not watching what you eat, you're going to struggle a little bit. And again, it's not to like discourage you or weed you out. It's to let you know, hey, you should probably work out while you're here. Because again, if you're holding me up in the air, I need to know that I'm going to walk out of there okay.